Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxhorn, and a few days ago Bethesda released a high-resolution texture pack for Fallout 4. This is a free DLC for the PC version of Fallout 4 that is supposed to give PC players a better version than the Ultra that comes with the game. Now what I've done is I've gone through the game and I'm giving you a before and after shot. And the way I did this is I went through and I made a whole bunch of game saves, turned off all of my texture mods, downloaded the high-resolution texture pack and installed it, and then reloaded those old game saves to show you the difference. This should give a consistent test between the before and after textures, given that the shots are in the exact same place in time, but there may be subtle differences between the shots like weather and lighting that fluctuate that make them look slightly different but have nothing to do with the texture. Additionally, my Fallout 4 game is highly modded, and to show off this texture pack, I had to turn off all of my texture mods, so you will see a few purple textures every now and then. That has nothing to do with the high-resolution texture pack. It just means that one of the textures from my mod was turned off during this footage. So when comparing the before and after shots, ignore any purple textures you see. That's not part of this free DLC. Overall, this is a subtle change to Fallout 4. I wouldn't call it groundbreaking. It certainly doesn't make any big improvements. In fact, it's hard to notice hardly any improvement at all. We find a more significant difference when looking at things that have text. For example, the Sugar Bombs box of cereal is much different and it's highly improved. Any of the posters and signs in the Commonwealth are going to look a lot better. So don't think of these as new textures that are retexturing Bethesda's game. They're not. They're the exact same textures, just slightly more high resolution. Think of this as an Ultra Plus. I wouldn't call it significantly better than Ultra, but it does make certain textures a little bit sharper. Now this is a huge DLC. It was like 54 gigs or so. And all of the warnings that I've read about it online said that it's only for beefy machines. But I haven't noticed any real big difference in my gameplay after installing the texture pack. And I'm going to show you an FPS comparison in a little bit. One more thing to note, this DLC does break some of your player character textures. If you've modded your game at all in the past and you've used new skin and face textures for your characters, sometimes you'll find a blackened face glitch. This DLC causes a blackened face glitch for people who use face and texture mods, but I'm gonna show you how to fix it. But first, let's finish the before and after shots. Okay, here's the first FPS test. I am testing away from Diamond City. This is far to the south in the middle of the night, and as you can see, it's not that big of a difference. I have my FPS counter in the corners of the screen.
We should get out of here as soon as we can.
And here we are in downtown Diamond City by Swan's Pond, and again, playing the game on Ultra compared to playing the game on Ultra Plus, this high-resolution texture pack, doesn't harm my FPS all that much. Now, I do have a pretty beefy machine. I built it myself, so it might make lesser machines struggle. If you're curious about my computer specs, I have it listed in detail in the description of this video. Also, if you're wanting to make your game look like mine, I've included copies of my Fallout 4 INI configuration files on Pastebin, which I link to in the description of this video. Now about that bug. As you can see, downloading and installing the high-resolution texture pack DLC caused a blackened face glitch on my sole survivor and many other NPCs in the game. This happens when the game tries to load the texture mod for your faces, while also trying to overlay decals on top of it, things like eyebrows, face paints, makeup, dirt, and other face details. This glitch happens when the face details don't match the size and resolution of the face texture. Now, the high-resolution texture pack did come with improved textures for all people, but they're nowhere near as good as what we can get from mods, so I choose to stick with my modded textures. However, if I do, I get this blackened face glitch. To solve this problem, I opened up the Bethesda archive extractor. This allowed me to peer inside the BA2 files, which came with this DLC, which is what Bethesda uses to package all of the new textures. I discovered that in DLC Ultra High Resolution Textures 01 and 02, we find the male and female face and body textures. To fix my problem, all I had to do was delete Textures 01 BA2. Now, this will remove some of the new high-definition textures from this DLC from your game, about 4 gigs worth. Alternatively, you could use Bethesda's archive extractor to unpack this BA2 and then put the new textures as loose files in your data folder. However, I recommend against doing this because it could potentially harm your FPS. It's better for the game to load textures from a BA2 file than from loose files. So, by simply deleting the first texture file, I restored my faces to their former glory. I still get to enjoy the majority of this high-resolution texture pack DLC, and my modded game is not messed up. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, a shorter video today, but it took me just as long to make this before and after comparison video as it typically does to do my videos. I'm pleased with the DLC. I'm glad Bethesda made it. We have to remember that this is completely free. It doesn't cost us a dime. It's not something Bethesda promised us. It's a surprise out of the blue that Bethesda gave us as a gift, and for that I'm very grateful. It's not a huge change, it doesn't revolutionize my gameplay, but it's a nice little touch and it doesn't harm my gameplay. But how about yours? Did you suffer after installing it, or have you noticed a huge improvement after installing it? Let me know in the comment section below. I read all of your comments and I use your comments as inspiration for my future videos. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers get access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But now I need to get back to rebuilding my outpost Zimonja for tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video.